Morning, guys. Beautiful day here in Bulgaria. It's going to be just over 20 degrees today, but sunshine. So I'm going to have to get a little bit of the firewood, which is exposed to the rain. It's going to rain for 2 days, 2.5 days after today. So that's the weather out the way, as we British like to do. So the figures are in from. I thought I'd check my bank account. Although I'm frugal, I don't check. I don't check the bank. I don't watch the pennies. I think that's a bit counterproductive now and again. If you check the pennies and make ledgers and all that, I don't have to because I know. Really, I know I'm being as frugal as I can be. And I know really what's going to work out at the end. But I thought I'd have a look. Now we're in May now. It's what is it? May the 7th. So let's call it 1/3 of the year gone for 4 months: January, February, March, April. And I checked the bank, and the only real way to know how much it's costing you in real terms, not just what you write down and what you forget about. The only real way is see how much goes out of the bank, and then it's final. It's finite. It's what you've spent without trying to trick yourself or make yourself feel better, and then you wonder why your bank account's different than you think it is. So if you know what I mean, because people tend to forget a lot of things when they're doing these cost of living things. They'll miss out loads of things, So that's what I do. I just look at the bank and see how much money, and that's how much has been spent from January the 1st to January the 1st. So right, we're in May. Right, I'm in Bulgaria. I own my house outright now. This is a big factor, especially now with the rents skyrocketing over the Europe and the world, actually, by the look of it. Rents and mortgage rates, neither of which is affecting me. So that's a major part. And also energy costs, because Bulgaria, it wasn't before, but it's now the cheapest in Europe for electric, and I think it's the cheapest for petrol. It did go up quite a lot during the dark years, but I think it was gouged a little bit, and as many things were. So the figures are looking similar to last year and the year before, actually. Now we're in May, and I've spent to date just over €2,000. I'll keep it in euros because people, I do switch between pounds and levs, and so let's keep it in euros so everyone knows. And a euro is more or less a dollar. I know it's different, but it's so minute. Why would it just keep saying two figures? Just let's call it a euro is a dollar, because it more or less, it's not far off. And depending on how you change your money, it probably would work out the same. And that's another thing what I watch here is the banking and the costs of ATMs and things like that. Now, I've got a very good account, and I'd recommend it to anyone. It's called the Wise account. And I think you can more or less open it everywhere. I'm not sure about the USA. But it gives you a multi currency account, and my main holdings are in euros, and then you can convert it to the lev, if you're going to draw from an ATM, which it might work out better if you convert it first in Wise, because they have good rates. And what Wise does also is, because it's designed for people who move about and nomads and people who travel internationally, what they do is they give you an amount each month which you can withdraw from an ATM, and there's no charge. Now, when you make about more than the amount, you do get charged a percentage then. So I make sure I get the monthly allowance from there, and then the other transactions I do with my Bulgarian bank, and it's cheaper again to then do transactions in shops with the debit card, but not drawing from the ATMs, because some of them have charges, some of them don't, and some of them will say they're not charging you, but they have an exchange rate which is worse than you can get elsewhere. So they do charge you, but just covertly. So that's one thing to watch, and like all these things matter when you're frugal. These things count, and people say, it's only it's only this, it's only that. When you're frugal, every penny matters. But it doesn't mean you're going to buy cheap stuff, which I generally don't. And I don't skimp on food or stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, the figures are in, and I've spent just over 2,000, but included in that are a lot of this year's expenses, including my firewood for not this winter, but the winter after, if we're spared, if we're still here. So, so that's including that, and I also bought this camera, which is a DJI Action 4, which wasn't cheap at all. But like I thought, you can get cheap ones, but frugal is not cheap, so I bought a decent one. And it's I'm quite happy with it. And I bought a strimmer for the garden. I've paid me insurance and road tax up front for a year. I've paid me internet up front for a year. The house council tax, did I mention that? And so everything's more or less paid, up to date. I've only got, in December, I've got the MOT for the car, but it's not expensive in Bulgaria. And so the reason why I can spend so little is because I'm set up. I've got the car already, and it's a pretty decent car. It won't need much doing to it, and I don't go far. And the house is the big one, which is bought and paid for. And you can still get houses in Bulgaria if anyone's thinking about like downsizing, which I would. I wouldn't stay in the UK now for a big clock. It's just unaffordable by the look of it, from what I can see anyway. And the information I watch is just becoming like ridiculous there. Motoring and everything. It's just unaffordable, especially for pensioners. I mean, even a pension, he'll go. You could easily live on a pension here, easily. If you work my figures out, which coming in for the year, if it's pro rata on just what I've spent up to now, it would be €6,000. But with all these upfront costs, I would expect it to be less. I'm kind of guessing it'll be the same as last year, which was €5,000, which is very good. But like, a big thing is, and another thing is I am single, so there's just me. It's quite kind of rare you get two people who are frugal. I haven't met many, but and I'm at a later stage. I don't need too much, and I've got lots of stuff anyway, and I eat well. I have a good eating plan, and I only generally eat one meal a day, and maybe a couple of eggs in the morning if you really want breakfast, which you don't normally have, and then I'll just have the main meal and maybe a snack later on, bacon sandwich or chicken and bacon, depending on what we've got on the stove or in the fridge, and so we don't skimp on food. It's meat and two veg every day here, every day. And now we're getting into the summer. It'll be the super coleslaws and stuff. You've only got to look at my cooking videos to see what I eat, and it's I don't skimp. I don't eat junk food, things out of packets, and it's all from the butchers or the fishmonger in the supermarkets and that. But so yeah, we're aiming for 5,000. People wouldn't believe that you could live on that, but like a big part of a lot of people's yearly budgets is rent or the mortgage, which sometimes in the old days they work out about the same. I don't know about now. But yeah, so that's an advantage of being where you want to be. Get to where you want to be, I would say, by mid-50s. Get everything should be bought and paid for by then, easily, or you're doing something wrong. You should have your mortgage paid off. You should have a decent car on the drive by then, and a little bit of savings, maybe some passive income, which I've got, like, and then you're cruising then, and you can still carry on working or whatever. I mean, I'm 62 now, and I think the pension it's gone up actually in the last couple of years. I'm on a full pension, so I got the 35 years in or whatever it was, and I'm eligible for a full English pension, which isn't as good as a lot of European countries like Denmark or Germany, France. I think most European countries is more than the British UK pension, but like, I think I looked it up the other day. It's about £222 now per week. You can easily live on, if you're set up in Bulgaria or say Portugal, you easily live on that. Easy. That's £221. That's quite a bit of money here at the moment. Anyway, I don't know about in 5 years' time. But anyway, so they're the figures, and it can be done. It can be done, and you don't have to scrimp and save, and I don't have to watch what I spend, because I don't spend much. So it's not a case of what you spend, it's like not spending at all. And I'm going to build up my herbs and that. I've got another 2 raised beds breaking down now. I've made the soil from scratch, so they'll be on the go starting next year. I've planted a load of grapevines, so let's see if we get some grapes off them. I think it's 2 years you start getting the grapes and that. And then I'll build up. I'll probably buy some more wood this year if it stays at the same price, because that might go up again. So if I can get the same price, which was €50 a cubic metre, I'll get some more. And to do that, I'll have to make a little canopy along the wall in the garden. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So people were asking about the price of beer. So I'll explain the price of beer and wine. I don't drink spirits, but they're not expensive here. You can get vodka or the local rakia, I think for about €6 a bottle. You know, that's the cheap stuff. And generally the whiskies and that, you know, even Scottish whiskies are only about £12 a bottle. €12 a bottle, sorry. I'll try and stick in euros. So I'll just show you a couple of examples of the beer and the wine. So we'll swing around here. Now we've got this one, which is a Czech lager, but looking at the bottle, I would say it's brewed here under license, and that's 1 litre for €1.2, 1 litre. It says it's Czech lager, but I'm pretty sure that'll be brewed here in that type of bottle. This is a local Bulgarian beer, 2 litres. You see a lot of these. That's at 1 lev and 40. So it's almost the same as the Czech one, but for 2 litres, double the beer. And there wouldn't be probably not much difference in the quality or anything, being as if they're both brewed here, I'm guessing. So that's what you're getting, 2 litres for €1.4. So I don't know how many pints that is. You can work it out. Now I can work this one out. This is a box of wine, 3 litres, and you can get these between, depends who's got them on offer at given times. It ranges from 12 to 15 lev, so we'll call it 14. €7, right? €7 for 3 litres, and 3 litres is exactly 4 bottles of wine, standard bottles, 750. 4 bottles of wine for €7, right? So I think that's about, I did work it out, I think that's about €1.75 per bottle. And like, I remember in Spain they had the cartons there, I think it was called Don Simon, and that was proper like low quality junk, plonk. But this is quite nice. Now this grape is native to Bulgaria. It's called Mavrud. There's another few more ones called Gamza or Gumza, something like that. And when it's really, really hot, you get the white wine, which is mainly is Traminer, which I think originated in Germany and Austria, but it does well in Bulgaria, and it's really, really crispy and light, and you can have it with soda and make like a nice summer type drink with some, even put some ice in it, you know, when it's really sweltering. It's really nice. And or you can stick to the beer, whichever one you want, or water. I'm just making some structured water in the garden. So there's another few items, and we're on the road to like being being another like very good year on the frugality stakes. So I hope you enjoyed that. These are real costs, real money, and my figures for the real cost of living are actual figures. They're not made up. They're not like I don't omit anything, and that's what I live on. So, can be done. Cheers.